Hello and welcome back to your mat. This is our final class of February for our Love and Compassion series. So we're going to finish that up today. For today's class, you will need a strap at the beginning. We'll do some shoulder work. So make sure you have a strap handy or a belt or a towel, something like that. We will be doing sun salutations today. So if you know you need to bring the floor up to you, then have a couple blocks handy. So those are optional, but if you know that you need them, please go ahead and grab those. So let's get started with a quote by Alan Cohen. Money is but one venue for generosity. Kindness is an even more valuable currency. All right, so let's get started right into it. Let's start standing. Grab your strap. And we're going to just do some shoulder opening to get us started today. So we're going to unroll that mat or the strap. Stand in mountain pose, all four corners of your feet into the ground. Bring the mat out, the strap. Bring the strap out in front of you, and you may have to play around with the distance of this. So from here, we're going to inhale and bring that strap overhead. Pause here for a moment, and exhale and bring it back, and you may have to, again, open up that width a bit. Bring it back as much as you are able to. So if this is good enough for you, then stop here. If you can bring it all the way back behind you, great. Inhale, come all the way back up to the top, and exhale, bring that back in front of you. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, up top. Exhale, back behind you any amount. Inhale, bring it back up overhead, and exhale back in front. Once more. Inhale, up over your head, and exhale behind you any amount. And inhale, bring that back up, and exhale, lower it in front of you. All right, great. You can drop the strap for now. And from here, we're just going to do a couple of side stretches. So from here, bring your right hand down to your right leg. Left arm is going to go up. Stay grounded in your feet. And you're just going to side crescent here. So you really open up this side body. Breathe here. And while we're doing these side stretches, I would like for you to think about somebody that you don't know very well. Maybe someone at the grocery store, a grocery clerk, someone at your favorite restaurant, someone at your doctor's office, someone that you know, but don't know very well, that you maybe see on occasion. Exhale and come back up onto the other side. Left hand down to your left leg and your right arm up and overhead. And for today's practice, I would like for you to send some compassion to that person. Again, this is someone you don't know very well, but obviously they have a life just like you. They have problems. They have issues they're dealing with. So send them some compassion and dedicate this practice to that person. So again, somebody that you know, but you don't know real well, like you know in a, like I said, grocery store, maybe a deli person, somebody that you see on a regular basis, but you don't know all that well. Exhale and come back up. All right, so just keep that in mind throughout today's practice. From here, we're going to do some more warming up. So we'll come to the stand at the top of our mat in mountain pose. And we're going to do 3 rounds of half sun salutations. So standing tall, we're going to inhale, rise the arms up overhead. Exhale, hinging at the hips, fold forward. Bend in the knees or straight legs. Inhale, halfway lift. You can use blocks here, of course. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, come all the way back up, reaching overhead. And exhale back into your mountain pose. Twice more on the breath. Here we go. Inhale, reaching up overhead. Exhale, hinging forward at the hips, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold in. Inhale, come all the way back up, reaching for the sky. And exhale back into your mountain pose. Once more. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, arms up overhead. And exhale back into your mountain pose. From there, we're going to add on, we're going to do 2 rounds of full sun salutations. So I'll guide you through it, so don't worry if you don't remember. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, fold forward, hinging at the hips. Inhale, halfway lift. And now this time on the exhale, we're going to step back into a downward facing dog. And this is probably your first one of the day. So we'll stay here for a breath or two just to stretch out. You can bend one knee, straighten the other, bend both knees. Do what you need to do to really get yourself here and arrive in your downward dog. On the inhale, you're going to rock forward into plank. Exhale, lower down to the ground. And inhale, rise up into your cobra pose, coming out of your hips. Exhale back down and come back into your downward facing dog. Stay for a breath. Inhale here. And exhale. On the inhale, look forward, walk forward on your mat. Halfway lift. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come all the way back up, arms up, reaching overhead. Exhale, and come back into your mountain pose. So we'll do that same thing, another round. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back into your downward facing dog. Take a breath here. Inhale, rock forward into plank. Exhale, lower down to the ground. Untuck your back toes. Inhale, and come up into a cobra pose, any amount. It can be a low or high cobra. Exhale, come back down. Inhale and rise back up into your downward facing dog. Stay here for a breath or two. On the inhale, look forward, walk forward. Halfway lift, look out in front of you, and exhale, fold in. Inhale, come all the way back up, arms reach overhead, and exhale back into your mountain pose. All right, we're going to add on. From here, inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, and step your right foot back, lower that right knee, and come into a crescent lunge. So inhale and bring those arms up overhead, or you can leave them at your sides. Inhale here. And now exhale, place your hands, step back into downward facing dog. Inhale here and exhale. On the inhale, rock forward into plank. Exhale, lower down to the ground. Untuck your back toes. Inhale. Up into cobra. And exhale, back to downward facing dog. You are always welcome. Take a breath, a couple breaths here. You're always welcome to skip any of those planks and lowering to the ground, what we call chaturanga. You don't have to do them if you would rather not. You can also always lower your knees. Inhale, look forward, walk forward. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, arms reach overhead. And exhale, back to your mountain pose. Nice. Once more on the other side. Inhale, arms reach overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. And now this time, step your left foot back, lower your left knee. And inhale, bring your arms up overhead or to your waist, to your hips, and breathe here into a nice low lunge. On the exhale, plant your hands and step back into downward facing dog. Breathe here. You can stay here or inhale, rock forward into plank. Exhale, lower down to the ground. Inhale, rise up into cobra, any amount, low or high. Exhale and step back and come back into your downward facing dog. Stay here for 2 nice deep breaths. Inhale and look forward. Walk forward on your mat. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, arms reach overhead, reaching for the sky, and exhale, back to mountain pose. Stay here for a moment, catch your breath. Want all that warming. Should feel a bit more heat in your body, a little bit more warmth now going, so that's good. From here, we're now going to do a standing series. So inhale, arms reach overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back into your downward facing dog. Breathing here. From here, inhale, look forward and step that right foot forward. Drop that back knee down to the ground. And let's come back up to a nice crescent lunge, a low crescent lunge. Inhale, rise those arms up overhead. From here, bring your arms back down to the mat, hands back down to the mat. Tuck that back left toes under and now rise up into a high crescent lunge. So come all the way up, back knee is off the ground, arms reach overhead. Breathing here. Bend deeply into that front leg. Exhale and now open up into a wide-legged standing forward, or wide-legged standing. We're going to fold forward here in a moment. So both your feet will be parallel to the front and back edges of your mat. And you can really widen this stance out if you'd like. Inhale here, get nice and tall, hinging at the hips. Exhale and fold forward. Bring your hands down to the mat. Inhale, look forward, flat back, and then exhale and fold in any amount. So you may be more upright, you may be using blocks. Whatever feels right for you. You can also have a small, slight bend in those knees. So breathe here into your wide-legged standing forward fold. Inhale and look forward. Exhale, slight bend in your knees and come to stand back all the way back up. Now you're going to turn the right toes back toward the front of the mat. Shorten your stance a little bit, so bring your left foot in just a little bit. And now, again, you might need a block, or you can always use your shin instead of a block. Reach that right arm out and tip forward into triangle pose. So you're bending from your waistline here. Your hand can go down to the floor, to the shin, to a block. Don't put it on the knee. So anywhere other than that. Left arm reaches up overhead. Breathing here. And now exhale and step back into a downward dog. And take a couple of nice deep breaths here, in and out through the nose. Resetting. If you would like and you really feel like you want to do it, go ahead and rock forward into a plank. Lower down to the ground. And inhale into cobra. You can always stay in down dog. This is just for those who maybe want a little bit more. Exhale back to your downward dog if you chose to do chaturanga. If not, there's no worries. Breathing here. On the inhale, look forward. Step that left foot forward. Drop that back knee and come on up. Bring the arms up overhead into your low lunge. Inhale here. Exhale. And now keep those back toes tucked. Now lift that back left knee off of the ground and come all the way up into your high crescent lunge. Inhale and bring your arms up overhead. Breathing here. Your left leg is deeply bent. Your back knee is off the ground. Inhale, and on the exhale, now we're going to pivot and bring your feet, both of your feet parallel to the front and back edge of your mat. And we're into that nice wide-legged standing forward fold. I'm going to go and turn around and face you. Actually, I'm not, because that'll probably mess me up. So I'm going to stay here. So I apologize in advance. Inhale and exhale, hinging at the hips. Fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, look forward, and then exhale and fold. And any amount, you can have your knees bent if you'd like, whatever works best for you. Breathing here. Inhale, halfway lift. Slight bend in your knees and come all the way back up. Turn those left toes out. Bring that right foot in a little bit to shorten your stance. Left arm out to the side, and now tipping forward and come into your triangle. So your left hand can go to a block, to the floor, to your shin, and bring that right arm up overhead. Breathing here. And now exhale, bring your hands back down to the ground and step forward into step back, to a downward facing dog. Breathing here, nice and deep. You're welcome to take a chaturanga here. So if you'd like to rock forward into plank, I'm going to skip it this time. But if you're filmed today, rock forward into plank, lower down to the ground, and inhale into your cobra. And then exhale back to your down dog. Otherwise, you're staying in downward dog. Breathing here. Another couple of breaths. On the inhale, look forward. Walk forward on your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, bring your arms all the way overhead. And exhale back into your mountain pose. Nicely done. From here, we're going to do a couple balancing poses, and then we'll move into our peak pose for today. So we're going to continue to work a little bit of quad stretching, because it's going to kind of help us with our peak pose. If you find that you need a wall for balance, make sure that's nearby. So it's just a very simple, we're going to stand on the left leg and bend that right knee in, grabbing hold of that right foot, and just stretching here. So you should feel that nice stretch in your right quad. Your knee is pointed directly down. It's directly underneath of your right hip. Breathing here, you can have this arm anywhere that helps you with your balance. Then exhale, lower that knee down, that leg down, and then we'll do the other side. So stand on your right leg, and now reach back and bend in that left leg. Get your balance. Hold on to something if you need to, and pull that foot into your butt as tightly as you can, making your having your knee pointed down toward the ground. So your knee is directly underneath of your left hip. So try not to jet it in or out, but straight down. Breathing here. And exhale, let that go. And now we'll do a simple round of tree pose. So from here, you're going to turn that right leg out and bring your right foot anywhere on your leg except for your knee that works best for you. So it can be here at your ankle, it could be in your calf, or it can be up here at the upper thigh area. Find your balance point, find your gaze, use a wall if you'd like to. Bring your hands to prayer hands. If you feel steady, you can bring them out to the side and up overhead. You can be like me and be a swaying tree in the breeze. Whatever happens, there's going to be micro adjustments all along the way. So find what works best for you. Find that steady point. Breathing here. And now exhale and let that right leg down. And now we'll do the other side. So now bring that left leg out to the side. And again, bring that left foot anywhere on your leg except for your knee. So whatever works best for you. Find that steady gaze, that point that you're going to gaze at, and it's going to help you with your balance. Continue to breathe here. Be wobbly, that's okay. Bring the arms up overhead when you feel steady, if you do. Breathing here, nice and strong, and nice solid foundation. And if you fall out like I did, just come back into it. Another nice deep breath here in your tree pose. And I am all over the place today, so go ahead and release that and let that go. Some days are better than others when it comes to balance. All right, so next we're going to move into our peak pose for today. So from here, we are going to come down and sit to seated position. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see it. What we're going to go into is called reverse tabletop. And this can be a pretty strong pose. So I'm going to show you some modifications for it first, and then you can decide if you want to go further into it. So one modification is pretty simple, actually. You can bring your hands back behind you, either facing back toward the back edge of your mat, or you can turn them in. This you may just have to play with and see what works best for you. For me, it works best to have my hands out the other way. So you do what works best for you, and you can stay right here. opening up that chest, really get a nice opening in the chest. This is plenty. If you feel ready to go into the next phase of this pose, then it's going to start out the exact same way. Your feet are about hip distance apart. And from here, you're going to simply bring those hips up. I need to stretch out a little bit more here. So I'm going to have my arms further back. And again, you might want to try and see if this works better to have your hands turned the other way. So you decide what works best for you. And you're going to lift those hips up. And now you're in what is the reverse tabletop. So when we're in that tabletop position, when we do cat and cow, we're obviously the other way. We're facing the other way. Our stomach is to the ground. If you feel steady and it feels okay, you can bring that head back any amount, or you can leave it up. Breathing here. This is a really strong pose. So if the other variation works better for you, stay there. And exhale, come back down. So, excuse me. So again, that pose, hands behind you. And you can stay here, just opening that chest, really bringing the shoulder blades back together on your back. This is a great pose. Or we'll try it again together. Inhale and bring those hips. So stay in that pose, that variation if that works best for you. Or inhale and bring the hips up and bring your head back any amount. Trying to be fairly level, which you may find over time that'll be easier. And exhale, lower back down. It's a nice strengthening pose and also a nice opener for your chest. All right. Nicely done. That was good. I'm glad you were able to experience a new pose, try out a new pose, see if the variation works better for you. It's always just a matter of experimentation, and that's the great thing about yoga. Experiment. It's good for you. So from here, let's come in, stretch back into a nice child's pose and release all of that we've done today. So I'm going to do a wide-legged, but again, you can always bring your knees together and bring your forehead up, forward and arms to your sides, or I'm going to do a wide-legged, so my knees are wide, and I'm going to come on and stretch out on the mat. And my seat is down to my feet, or maybe further up. If you need to put a block, do what you need to do. Breathe here for a couple of rounds. Letting all that go. Being proud of yourself for trying a new pose or a new variation of a pose, whatever you were able to do today. Inhale and come back up. And now we're going to come into a seated forward fold. So from there, stretch both of your legs out long in front of you on the mat. I like to pull my seat back a little bit. If you need to sit on a blanket or something, or roll up your mat to help elevate your seat, do that. You can also have a bend in your knees as much or as little as you'd like. So find out what works best for you. You've got your strap, so this could also be handy. So sit up nice and tall, and if you need to stay here, this is one variation. Another variation is to put that strap around your feet. The wider your feet are apart from each other, the easier this will be. So if they're closer, you may find it to be a little bit more difficult. Strap up your feet and exhale and fold. Bring yourself forward. The strap will help bring you forward a bit more. Or if you don't need the strap or you don't want to use the strap, inhale and hinging forward the hips. Come forward any amount, stretching into a nice seated forward fold. And again, you can always have knees bent to start with. And over time, see if you can lower one down or the other, or keep them up. There's lots of variations in yoga. Breathing here. Exhale, release that. Inhale. And exhale. All right, inhale and come all the way back up. And now we're just going to do a nice reclined twist. So let's lie back onto our backs. Bring your knees into your chest. And then now exhale and bring both knees over to the right. Left arm out to the left and look over your left shoulder. Breathing here for a moment. Releasing that lower back and all the work you've done today. Inhale, come back up, bring your knees into your chest. And now exhale and let those drop, both your knees drop to the left, and bring your right arm out to the right, looking over that right shoulder. Or you can always still look straight up above you, whatever feels best on your neck. Breathing here. And inhale, come back up, bring your knees into your chest. And now bring the soles of your feet to the ground, about hip distance apart. And we're going to just do a quick thread the needle. So bring your right foot to your left knee. Make sure that right foot is flexed. Reach through and get a hold of your left shin and pull in any amount. Or you can stay right here if that's enough of a stretch. So see what you need to do and where you feel the stretch without going too far. Breathing here. Another inhale. Exhale. Release that and switch to the other leg. So now your left foot will be on top of your right knee. Left foot is flexed. Stay here or reach through. Grab a hold of that right shin and pull in any amount. And get that opening over there, that stretch on your left hip flexor area. Breathing here. Inhale. And exhale, let that all go. Release your legs. Release your legs down, flat onto the mat, your arms out to the sides, and release into your Shavasana. Let everything go into the mat, your neck, your head, your shoulders, your back, upper back, lower back, your legs. Let everything go into the mat. Sink into this moment. Stay there, breathing deeply through the nose. And we're going to do a couple of rounds of equal part breathing here. So I'll do the counts, and I'll keep an eye on the time. We're going to do inhales of 4 and exhales of 4. So we'll equalize our breath. So here we go. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now resume your normal pattern of breathing and stay here for another minute or so. A little bit of quiet time. Just letting everything go into the mat and noticing your breath. You're welcome to stay in Shavasana if you'd like. For this next part, we're just going to do a very short visualization meditation. So you can do this lying down, or if you'd like to come up, sit, please come up and sit and join me and seated. But again, Shavasana is a great place to be for this visualization. Just going to do a short little meditation here. So just close down your eyes, breathing for a moment. And I want you to imagine that you're walking out onto a beautiful white sandy beach. Sand between your toes is warm, it's soft, your toes sink into the sand, And in the distance, you hear the waves crashing on the shore. Seagulls are above you. You hear the constant roar of the waves coming in and out. Find yourself a seat on that beach somewhere, near the water if you'd like, toes in the water, and sit for a quiet moment and notice the sounds of this visualization of this beach visualization that we're doing. Notice the sounds of the waves coming in and going back out, crashing against rocks, the wet sand between your toes, the warm sunshine hitting your face. Imagine that for another moment or so, keeping that visualization in your mind. Breathing and just enjoying this nice little retreat that you're giving yourself for a minute. And that was just going to be a short little snippet of meditation for today. So if you'd like to stay there, please do. Ignore what I'm saying. Otherwise, come on back into the room. Leave your beach area for a little while. You can always go back to it. Come back into the room. Open your eyes. And for this week's assignment, our last assignment for February, I'd like you to do something nice for someone that you don't know very well. So perhaps that person that you thought of in the beginning of class, the grocery store clerk, the deli person, the person at your favorite restaurant, the person at your doctor's office, whoever it might be. And it can be something simple. It can be a compliment. It can be a thank you. It can be a smile. If you want to challenge yourself this week, do something nice for someone that you dislike. And that one is a much harder one. So if you'd like to start with someone you don't know very well, that's a great place to start. But if you want to challenge yourself, do something nice for someone that you don't really necessarily like so much. And again, that could be challenging. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week and rest of your day. Thank you for joining me, and thank you for taking time to take care of yourself. Until next time, namaste.